What's up, Cheddar Pod Nation? It's your boy Cheese, aka Zach. Zach is my real legal name. They will probably call me Cheese. Cole might call me Zach. You never know. We're back after once again another couple-month hiatus. After we said we were going to be cranking these things out a little bit more, but that's just the nature of things. I am here joined by
this kid.
My co-hosts, one of which who's been out of the country several times.
East India.
Several times.
The whole time.
East India. Hopefully he's all vaccinated and not disease-ridden. I'm here joined by my co-hosts. We got Clayton Burrell over here, and we have Coley Wooly Michelson over here as well.
Yep.
So what's with the sunglasses, guys?
I don't know. He came in wearing them, so I had to put mine on too.
Okay.
I picked these up at a gas station up in Cross Lake.
Well, he was driving his semi.
Hell yeah. And then I felt left out, so I put some on because they had them on.
I'm a trendsetter. What
No,
can I say?
you know why we're wearing this? Because the future of Minnesota is bright.
It is very bright, isn't it?
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
The future of Minnesota sports is very bright.
Oh, Minnesota
I'm
sports.
optimistic.
Yeah, you know what?
Also, it's almost spring, but yeah.
It is pretty. It's looking pretty good, but let's break it down real quick. Cole, where the fuck have you been? Where have you been?
Yeah, he was gone every single weekend.
Yeah, traveling.
I've had a busy last 30 days last month. I've been in Atlanta. I was up north. I was in Sioux Falls. I'll be in Destin, Florida next weekend.
Jeez.
Yeah, but
You're gonna be gone next weekend too?
Weren't you in Mexico, or was that way long ago? I can't remember.
that was a little while ago.
Okay.
But yeah, it just kind of happened that way. You know, I'd have something planned, and then Rachel and I would have something. Oh, okay. What about this week? Okay, well, we're free that weekend. And before we knew it, we had almost every weekend booked up. So, I'll be getting into the summer though. I'll be pretty open. I don't have stuff until September, which is nice.
Have you ever thought about
nice.
just like not doing that and just stopping and smelling the flowers once in a while?
Have you
smell the
considered
flowers all
allowing
over the
yourself to
place.
experience
No, yeah, you can smell a lot of distant flowers, but sounds like you're just going all the time.
Yeah, I'm a body in motion. You know, I like.
He
it.
is a
I
golden
like
retriever.
going
I
places
don't.
and
They just don't
He
stop.
is, yes, it's
so.
true.
Yeah, I'm more impressed that
Actually-
Rachel's able to do all this traveling with you and not want to
Well,
murder you.
It's true.
When I went to Atlanta, I went to connect with an old friend. So that was just me and my buddy James. But then Sioux Falls.
Shout out
and
James.
Up north was hey James.
I know you're listening.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're back, Cole, and I know Clay's glad you're back because he gets really
Yeah, I am
lonely when
too.
you're not in Minnesota.
I'm indifferent.
He
sure.
Gets, a little email.
No, I don't. I don't
And-
feel things.
As far as Clayton goes, we had to rescue him from the grasp of death this morning.
It's true.
We probably should have been recording a while ago, but he's alive. He's here. He's feeling good, which is
That's the good thing. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if you were gonna be able to come out of it, but you're here, and I'm glad.
Count your fucking days, Apple.
Yeah,
So
Apple alarms.
pissed off, dude.
Real letdown, but hey,
Well,
we're
like
here.
whatever. It wasn't a work day or anything, but the fact that I touched my phone and all of a sudden the notifications start pouring in, that was weird, dude.
That is super
iOS
weird.
is falling apart on you.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
But we made it, so
okay.
we're here. We might as well start talking about sports.
Well, hold on. No.
Oh, what else?
Cheese.
Me?
What have
We
you
talked
been up
about
to?
my travels. We talked about
Clay's
alarms.
depression.
What about you? What's new in the camp of Zachary Cheese?
Zachary Cheese. That's Cheese is my last name.
I
What is new? I honestly not a whole lot. You guys know how I do. I just be working day job and then I work my night job and then I come home and I watch basketball. A lot of that. Trying to just enjoy each day. That's it.
Positive. I like it.
Mhm.
That's good, man.
Yeah, no
Trying.
life updates other than the weather's getting a little warmer. Playing softball outside
Yeah.
finally feels right. Feels like I don't want my life to end every day. So that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Lord.
Also, speaking of things that have been great and have me postponing the S word or the KMS thing. The Timberwolves went on an 8-game win streak. The goosebumps were happening every time. Julius Randle playing like an absolute champ.
Could I get 5 booms for the 8-game win streak?
Boom! 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 And can I get
Either
5
way.
goosebumps? No, okay. So yeah, obviously 8-game win streak. Things were feeling good. Winning at the right time. I kept saying on this podcast as well, this team is going to go on a run at some point when all the pieces fall into place, and it happened.
And they did.
It unfortunately came to a really frustrating end when we played the Indiana Pacers, who were missing their 3 best players. That's the first sign of a trap game. Is you're playing a team that doesn't have their best players, though they're competitive. And Obi Toppin decided to turn into prime Reggie Miller. Went 7 for 10 from 3, hit some bonker threes that I don't think should have happened, and beat us, which was fine because you know what? Next up, we got the Pelicans. They're awful, right? They've had a really bad season. They're also missing most of their good players. And somehow we lose that game too. Zion Williams goes off on us. He tends to do that. But I don't think that's
Clutch
the reason
time.
we lost. Yeah. I don't think that's it. I mean, I think it was just a lot of, low energy, blah, blah, blah. But then last night we play them again and we win by 41 points. So
41?
41. Yeah, Joe Ingles gets the start. I think
was
that's
fun
the
to watch.
key. The key to us winning is starting Joe Ingles for
start.
2 minutes and then pulling him. But yeah, how are we feeling as Timberwolves fans? I want to hear from you guys. What are the vibes right now as far as this hot and cold kind of system we're in right now? This atmosphere of Timberwolves basketball.
You
go first.
No, you go first.
You go first.
Okay, I'm gonna go first so that we don't
Yep,
destroy
just go.
this bit every
Okay, you go
single
first.
episode. I was just telling Clay about this a little earlier. I'll simplify my 2 cents. I feel confident in this team showing up and performing in a series. And I think a great example of this, there's trap games. So, we went on this 8-game winning streak. We're looking really good. Then we lose to the Pacers, losing their 3 best players. But, that's a game where I think it's less that we lost it and more that the Pacers won it. I honestly think they went out and they played lights out, and those games happen. And then the Pelicans game was really disappointing. I agree with you, low energy. But the whole reason I said what I said about a series gives me confidence is we lost to the Pelicans. Granted, inherently not a very good team this year, so it's almost expected we would bounce back, but we bounced back. So why are you documenting?
Yeah, what's going on?
Cheddar Pot story. Cheddar Pot
he's taking
Instagram story.
pictures of
Follow us
stuff.
on Instagram.
Yeah, shout
Cheddar
out
Pot.
Clay on the socials.
Anywho,
Yeah.
no, man, I feel really good about us matching up against a team, in a series. So I think that'll be a really good opportunity. I think most importantly for us, I just had to brush up on the play-in rules. I think we want to stay at that 7th or 8th seed because that'll give us a second chance, right? If we're 9th or 10th, it's that single elimination game. We want the second chance game. And if we can beat out the Golden State Warriors for an actual playoff spot, all the better. I like our chances against any team in this league in a 7-game series. I think we'll give them a run for their money.
So my thing is, if this was a 7-game series, I feel really good about this team.
Right though, because
honest to
I
God,
trust
though.
Finch to make adjustments. I trust our team to try and figure things out.
I'm joking about not hearing you, but honestly, no, that was.
Yeah.
I actually want to hammer that point home because that is true. I said it months ago on right here in this exact spot. It's just going to take some time for this team to figure it out. It's not like we got rid of a lot of key pieces in the offseason. We just got rid of one guy who was probably the biggest leader on the team, which sucks. So it was going to be a big uphill battle to figure
Growing
out
pains for
you know,
sure.
what happens there. But
Yeah.
we finally found that cohesivity. We saw little bits and pieces of it, throughout the season. And dude, I think that 8-game win streak cemented it. And then we lost those 2 really close ones, which was God, that was really annoying.
Yeah. Both games were annoying. Frankly.
I have an idea of how to fix our clutch time, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I know. I already know. Yeah. I know what you're.
I'm gonna say it now. What if? Just what if? Last 30 seconds of the game, 3-0. We're like, it's a 1-point game. We just take Ant out of the game with 30 seconds left.
Oh man.
What if?
Yeah.
Do you think that? I'm genuinely asking the question. Do you
I
think
think
that
our
might
best player and
I
our
understand
franchise
the
player
sentiment.
would really appreciate if we did not put him there at the end. I think that would be a really good way for us to. But no, you have a point. We do seem to play really
Yeah.
well down the stretch when he's on the bench. He does take hero
know.
shots. I think he's moving away from that though. But
Nothing against him,
Yeah,
honest
yeah.
to God,
No,
because
yeah.
obviously he carries the team more than
Uh-huh.
anybody else. But dude, if I lost count of how many times in this season he's missed a 3 for a hero shot,
clutch.
exactly
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
said, in the clutch time.
It's a significant amount of. I heard this statistic from the Timberwolf announcers the other night, but it's like I think it's more than of all of our losses, more than 50% were clutch time losses.
way more.
So very winnable games. You probably know it, Cheese.
Yeah, I believe we're like
I did-
8-21 in clutch time games.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
brutal. That's brutal. I think it's here's what it is, man. It's as simple as this. Anthony Edwards has adapted to the double teams. It was a challenge for him towards the end of the playoffs and just in general adjusting to that. And
Yeah.
he's by watching other players, by learning, by practicing, he's found ways to try to beat the double team. It's worked. There's times it hasn't, but it's been getting better. I think the same goes for clutch. I think, you know, I know the guy has like a drive for competitiveness and wants to be the guy, but if he can buy into, I can be the guy by baiting half the team on the 3-point line and dishing it over to Jaden, who's actually a tremendous 3-point shooter, wide open.
I love watching him.
We're gonna have an uncontested shot that might have,
Yeah.
you know, I just there's opportunities, but he's gonna want to take the final shot, and I don't blame
Yeah.
him for that. But
Well, and a lot
That's
of
my
these
thought.
scenarios, just to bounce off that, a lot of these scenarios, I mean, they're drawing up the play for Ant, and that's kind of what you do as a head coach when you have a player of Anthony Edwards' caliber. Like you gotta draw the play up for him, and you know there will be times where maybe Ant the coverage is not what they're expecting on the play, and he will kick it to the side. But going off that point, like Jaden has improved as a 3-point shooter. He had a pretty tough start to the year, especially in the corner. He was like one of the worst wide open corner shooters, but he's really turned it around. But it's just, I don't know. It's not so much the offense that's letting us down, and Ant even said this. It's the defense. You know, like last year we won a lot of these clutch games because we were locking people down and getting stops. And with both that Pelicans and Pacers game, you could just see like we could not get stops. Given in that Pacers game, it was a lot of like wild shots that probably shouldn't have fallen. But yeah, I mean, I think the offensive end is one thing. We're struggling there in close games, but the defensive end is completely different from what it was last year.
yeah,
And
that's a good point.
yeah, you know, I think just like when you have a guy like Ant and the game's on the line, you got to give him the shot, you know? And if he wants to kick it out, if he feels like that's the move, that's the move. And he's still young, you know? He'll have a lot of opportunities, but yeah, it's very real. If you've noticed that we don't make a lot of game winners or game tires, it's because we haven't. I think we are like Ant's like over like 15 or 16 or something this year. Because he just doesn't get the look he wants, you know, and that's a credit to other teams' defenses really putting the pressure on him.
Can you see Jeff in the camera?
Oh, chef,
Yeah.
not in my camera. Wait,
Oh, dang it.
there he is.
Hi, kitty.
In
All
my
right,
messy
sorry. I'm
apartment.
so just unhinged today.
You know his name
um,
is Chef, right?
Well, I know, but I call him Chef Jeff.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Because
No,
I
I
do
just-
call him Jeff too, so you probably picked that up from me. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and-
that's fine.
yeah, in the Google Meet, which this camera can't see, he's like very. He knows he's not.
I took
supposed
a
to-
video. I took a video
Yeah?
for proof, so they'll
Let's
see on the
go.
story.
He's not supposed to be
Anyway.
there, but he knows it'll get him attention.
Follow us on Instagram at Cheddarpot.
At Cheddarpot, posting some really good stuff on there.
Yeah, some
Um,
really good stuff. It's usually just cheese with the wolves. Anyway, but oh yeah, sports. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's just we're gonna be fine. This, like
Yeah.
Cole said, I believe in this team in a 7-game series more than just about any year. You know, if it's a play-in, God, I really hope. And honestly, I'm gonna say it now. I don't think we're gonna have to work in a play-in. I think we're gonna make it.
Yeah,
probably
well,
like 6th or 5th seed.
To interject, Steph Curry just got like a pelvic contusion. So the Warriors typically
What?
don't win without. Yeah, he will probably be back for the playoffs. This is terrible for my fantasy team, by the way. I'm probably going to lose this week in the playoffs. But we're trying to catch up to Golden State, and it's been a struggle. Like when we win, they win. When we lose, they lose. So we've just been staying. If we can somehow bop up to the 6th spot and they fall to the 7, no play in for us, and we likely will either play Houston or the Lakers, I think. So, in both those matchups, we've been pretty good in this year when we have a healthy team. So,
I do not want to face Luka in the playoffs, no matter what happens. That's all I know.
I'll say,
He's an animal.
yeah. And listen, no matter who we play, like we just said this, in a 7-game series, I trust this team.
Yep.
We
Besides against Luka.
Yeah, we've proven against really good teams that we can spank them. Like we had some pretty solid wins against the Thunder. We had that crazy comeback win where Ant was just barely playing. We slapped the fucking shit, excuse my language, out of the Nuggets last time we played them. We got them at home coming up soon. So, yeah, I think if there's one thing about this team, it's we're super deep. The fact that we have two starting caliber players like Nas and Devo who come off the bench says a lot about this team. Jalen Clark is playing insane basketball. He might be our best bench guy at this moment compared to the way everyone's energy is and shot making. Jalen Clark is playing probably the best of everyone on our bench, and he's a rookie.
Yeah.
We have Travis Shannon, Dillingham, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So you got to think about it with that depth and also the coaching of Chris Finch, who gets a lot of a lot of flack. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league as far as the respect he gets. Yeah. It's not, you can't blame the coach.
Full stop.
You can't blame
Right
the coach
there.
for his players not making shots when they need to be making shots. He is so excellent, and if you give him 7 games with this roster, I think it's hard to beat, no matter if we are playing Luka and LeBron, or if we're playing Jokic, or we're playing Shea and Chet. I think we're good. And the dogs agree. The dogs agree.
Yeah, I don't. They came out here. Ow!
They're as passionate as I am.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, Finchy, I agree. One of the best coaches in the league. He is him. I had one issue with him, and he resolved it. I am so happy that he was willing to jumble up the lines a little bit, man. And he's finding what works. He's giving, dude, my current favorite player on the team a lot of minutes. Clark, baby.
Clark, baby. Clark County Jail. He was Defensive Player of the Year in the Pac-12 when we drafted him. He somehow
never.
I don't get it.
Oh my God, I'm so excited about him. He
Yeah.
is playing every game I watch him. He does something that I'm just like, holy shit! Like his defense is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, he's the king of steals, man.
I love that kid, man.
His
I'm super excited
intangibles
about
too.
him.
Yeah, the stuff he provides to a team is stuff you can't really evaluate when you're drafting someone.
He seems so poised.
Yeah.
For his Asian experience in the league, he seems so poised out there. Like he feels like he's been doing this for a while, you know.
Yeah, I mean, coming off
good, man.
Achilles tear, I think he just watched this. He was on the bench all last year watching us go on that crazy run, and I think he was just like licking his chops. Could not wait to get out
So
there.
good.
And he's impacting winning. Like, there's a lot of games this season. Even that the Pacers game, I think we definitely would have not really had a chance to go to OT if it wasn't for Jalen Clark giving us a spark. The Clark
100%.
spark. Holy shit, Clark spark.
The shark.
So trademark that. But yeah, so let's wrap it up here on the Wolves. Basically, I think even with shit being a little bit weird, I don't think there's any reason to worry right now. I'm really excited. I hope that we don't have to do the play-in, but if we do, we do. Either way, I think we're getting in the playoffs, and the vibes are all right now. We got like 10 games left, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. You guys got any last thoughts on the Timberwolves before we move on?
Basketball.
I've had the most fun watching this team in the entirety of this year at this moment. They've seen the most confident. They've seen the most willing to compete and battle for the wins. So it's been really fun to watch them. One last thought I have. Even I don't know if Finch is playing like we're playing 2D chess and he's playing 3D chess, but even the complaint that for a while he was riding the same lineup and then eventually was switching it. I think in hindsight, 2020, you can look at that and go, even that was a smart play because he was giving the new guys these minutes that they desperately needed to find like cohesion and find their groove. So even when it was still not working and everyone's like switch it up, we need to win games, he still was playing them, I think, with the intention of we'll do this and then push will come to shove, we'll have to switch it up, we'll have to put some other guys in the lineup, but I want to give these guys the time to work with this team in real action. So, man, I think Finch is great. I love his response always to the media. He's such a media guy. He's real about stuff, but he's also, he's willing to be like, no, like, screw that. That's not how this is. That's not how this works. This is what we're doing, and we have a purpose for what we're doing. So,
well said.
I enjoyed.
Well said.
Big media guy.
Big media guy. No, when Chris Finch talks, you listen, and I think a testament to that is just the way all the players kind of back him. Like, there's never been drama with Chris Finch and players not getting along with him. Ant said this is the best relationship he's ever had with a coach. I think that's huge for your star player to say. So, Clay, you got anything left to say? Otherwise, we're going to move on here.
Not that we're going the Wolves, but I think that 2-game slump was nothing. Boys came back to play. They were pissed last night, and we're going to keep winning.
Like it.
That's what's up, baby. All right. Yep. So, now that we've covered the Timberwolves, it's the logical next step is to talk about Skull. 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 The Minnesota Vikings possibly won free agency in a 32-team league. And
Let's go!
During a free agency where there was
that.
not a lot of moves made initially, and people were like, "This Quasi's asleep. What the? We're cooked. Why aren't we trying?" Look at that offensive line right now. Look at that defensive line right now. Look at the pieces we've added on the secondary. We signed Rondale Moore, who is a wide receiver 2 caliber wide receiver, in my opinion.
You are on one today.
Clay is fucking pumped. Guys,
it's all that extra energy from sleeping in.
Never in my life seen this team go all in and show that we're going all the fuck in. I am ecstatic about this, dude. This was
always the vision when we hired Quasi and KOC. It's like
I couldn't keep up.
Shit just kept happening.
The first 2 days. Mm-hmm. It's just unbelievable.
I don't know if this is like a good way to assess it, but what I really, really liked about the off-season acquisitions here, to people that know, they look at it and they're like, "Oh, that was brilliant. They did a fantastic job. They bolstered the elements of a team that you need to have strong to succeed and to win." What I really like is the Vikings didn't get baited by big news free agency signings. We didn't go after these splashy players. Well, forgive me. We acquired players that will definitely be splashy. They're going to do a great job, but we didn't go after the big names or they got.
It's okay, Cole. You can say his name.
Well,
we all know who you're talking about.
but even that much, we moved on from Darnold. I wish him the best of luck with the Seahawks, but we moved on from him. And he was all over the news for a minute, big, contract with the Seahawks. I love that they're like, we're gonna roll with JJ. We're gonna give him an elite offensive line. We're gonna plug in some other key pieces to the defense, and we're gonna get a few other acquisitions. But we're gonna make this team as well rounded as we possibly can. I love it, man, because they're trust. For me, it's an indication that they're gonna trust in the coaching. Our coaching has been elite for the last handful of years, not only from the head coach perspective, but OC and DC have been so good. So I love it. They're trusting the pure talent of anyone that's able to make it to the league, and they're like, we can work with this. We can bring them up to the absolute best potential they could have.
Yep.
It's just crazy to see, like with that kind of coaching, like what you can bring out of somebody. And I said, like, I've said this on this podcast before. It doesn't matter who's under center; they're going to succeed in this scheme with this coaching, with this roster, with those weapons. It's just, oh my god, man! I mean, obviously, you can't throw me or Cole under center and expect it to work. But
no, right. I mean, but look at it, man. We got career year
Yeah.
out of Kirk Cousins,
Yeah.
career year out of Darnold, and people are like, Kirk left,
Yeah.
and I still wish Kirk the best. I hope he has. I don't think he'll be starting. They're going to go with Penix, but.
No. Michael Penis Jr.
Yeah.
It's
Penis
just
Junior.
to me it's an indication not that those guys aren't talented, but that just emphasizes the importance of having a really good system around all of your key players. You need good coaching, you need good leadership, you need good offensive and defensive schemes. You can't just have. I mean, maybe with the rare exception, there's been a handful of players ever. Like I think of Michael Vick being this guy that just would go out there and just run around and do all these crazy things because of just
abuse dogs.
or even Lamar Jackson. But look at the growing pains that the Ravens have had for. Not even growing pains isn't the right word. They have just struggled to make the final push because they rely,
high
to me, they rely
expectations that they're not.
Yeah,
meeting.
they rely on the talent of the players rather than the actual the team aspect or the
But
coaching
they have
aspect.
D Hop now, so
Yeah, we'll see.
It's gonna be hard to beat
that's a
that.
We'll see.
Perfect example of them going and getting a good player, fantastic player, but big name, right?
Okay, let's
Big
reel
name.
it. Let's reel it back in. I want to talk more about our free agency signings. You're getting a little too crazy.
Crazy.
no, he's not.
You're crazy. So,
You're doing great, Cole.
Jonathan Allen. I'm stoked about him, bro. That's gonna be a huge one. What was it? Hargrave was his name? The other defensive tackle. I'm having a brain fart.
Yeah, I'm pretty
guy
sure
from the
Hargrave
Niners.
is from the Niners. Hargrave.
So
Time to crunch numbers.
2 years prior, I can't remember who he played for, but he had a career year. I think he had like around
Javon Hargrave.
11 to 13 sacks or something like that. And then his next year wasn't as good. And then he was hurt pretty much all year last year. So if we can pull that back out of him, man, it's going to be huge. We are bolstering the secondary. Holy shit. I did not expect that because I was already like, all right, if we sign like one or maybe two good guys, we got Mekhi Blackman coming back. We're going to be set. Oh, my God, dude. Isaiah Rodgers. We brought back Byron Murphy. Who do we just sign
He got
to?
a bag
Hitman.
too.
What was the guy
Hitman.
from the Lions that we got?
Oh yeah,
the-
the Falcons, Lions, and Texans. Who
Dude,
apparently
that's
a
like- I
lot of
can't keep
people
up.
wanted us to draft him in the same draft we got JJ. So I think
so
we
excited.
made the right choice. Yeah, he has
And Hitman's back.
Hitman's back.
Oh my God, one of the greatest Vikings of all
If
time.
anything,
man.
just the leadership presence he'll provide
Oh,
in that
dude, this is
locker
gonna
room
be a
is-
season to remember.
you know,
I'm so
valuable.
excited.
Yeah, if I
you
can
know-
jump in really quick. So the roster we had going into last year, right? Everyone
Yep.
thought maybe 6 wins, right? 5-6 wins. We got 14, right? We made this team better than it was last year, roster wise. The ceiling for this team is extremely high. I'm not going to sit here and make a prediction because I think that's bullshit because you see what happens when you make predictions. But there is no reason to be like not optimistic about this team right now. Just like the way, and Brian Flores is back. Like not much has changed. We lost a couple assistant coaches, but like this team is only better like than we were last year. What did we lose really? Like Cam Bynum? That's it. I can't think of another like huge loss we have roster wise. So massive.
Dude, insane.
I think there is so much to be said. If you have an atmosphere, a culture with your franchise, with your team that is strong and you're winning, you can't. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the word. You can't overappreciate the value that bringing the squad back as is can like how well that can produce better results, right? Because like there's teams that'll run it back, but they weren't very good, and it's kind of the same results. But there's also teams that kind of like strip things or they take out key pieces, and kind of a funny enough, an example is the Cat. When we lost Cat, there's those growing pains, and it looks like we're starting to figure it out. But like that just gets me so amped for this team because we got so much of the same people back.
Mhm.
We got Hitman to re-sign for another year because I think he's totally bought in. I think he's like we could make it
Oh yeah.
work this year. You know,
I mean, do it for
it's just
Hitman,
exciting.
right? Do it for Hitman.
So the God, just like the rumblings around the entire league, the discourse on social media, everybody's like, "Damn, this team is so stacked." But we're putting it on a rookie quarterback. It's like, dude, okay, back to everything I just said before. Who's under center? God, Sam Darnold. You could have put Daniel Jones. You could have put, dude, like.
Yeah, no
anybody
shade
could've
on
come
Sam
back.
Darnold, but I don't think
Yeah.
he has the season he has with any other team.
No, absolutely not.
Right?
Because the offense that he's in, the weapons that he has, JJ, Hawkinson, Addison, good lord, bro.
Rondell Moore,
I think
Yeah.
I
Aaron
think
Jones.
It's really,
Wait, Mason in the backfield too.
Oh, by the way, underrated season in terms of receiving for Aaron Jones. I remember
Yeah,
him
he did
having
terrific.
a lot of really good receiving
which also
yards.
that
Scheme,
helped
baby.
Darnold's
Yeah.
numbers, if we're being honest.
It's that KOC
Yeah.
scheme, man. It's insane.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He had a great year. And so I do want to touch on the fact that, we didn't play into, like you said, all like the media shit that, all the big news stories. Because I think my favorite moment was when, it's time for Aaron Rodgers to come to Minnesota and follow the Brett Favre arc. And we said we were entertaining the idea. That's all we said. It basically was like, eh.
Well,
Like-
you know what the Vikings did really well, whether this is true or not, is when they ultimately even how much they were entertaining it, who knows, but when they eventually moved past Aaron Rodgers, they made that statement where they're like, we're passing on Rodgers. We also received multiple trade offers for JJ. We declined all of them.
Absolutely no.
For me, I'm thinking as this young guy who spent last year watching
Yeah.
and learning wants to be the guy. What a boost of confidence for him to be on this, to
He's
be behind
wanted,
the scenes
bro.
and see the franchise publicly declare, no, not only is JJ our guy, but we got offers and we said no. Like,
Yeah.
we're rolling with this guy. For me, that's, if I'm in the psyche of like this young guy who's coming from a winning, environment with Michigan, now he wants to go and he wants to win and lead the Vikings. It's that much more encouraging knowing that, hey, they're all behind you, right? So I thought that was a really good move to like publicly say like, all right, we know all the rumbling, but screw all of that. This is our person.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And by the way, I think we should title this episode just Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings still possible or something, just to get the
prices
views.
are still this high?
Yeah.
Question mark, question mark.
That'll get us some. Yeah.
It's got to be something Aaron Rodgers related, so we'll get some views, and then they'll get to this point in the episode, and they'll be like, "Those bastards."
They'll be like, why did they talk about the
Rodgers takes
Timberwolves for
ayahuasca.
30
Aaron
minutes?
Rodgers still possible, and then it's got to be fucking purple.
Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers go on a retreat together? Question mark, question mark.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. I want to jump on what you were saying about JJ Cole McCarthy.
Yeah.
Obviously, we gotta unfortunately start differentiating the two JJs.
We got to figure something out there,
Yeah, which sucks is
I think-
JJ is just so easy to say.
J Jets, and
J Jets, yeah,
Or just
Jettas.
Jets, yeah.
Just start calling them Jettas. Yeah. So obviously, I said like, who did we lose? Cam Bynum. Obviously, we lost Sam Darnold too. I don't want to like take away from what he did for us because you can say he was a mediocre quarterback playing in a really great system. I do think he had a pretty stellar year. Minus towards the end, he had a really great 16 games. He is, I think,
sad.
proof of like the type of quarterback that might not have it all, right? Not all the intangibles you need, but if you put a system around him, he can thrive. You put talent around him, he can thrive. And I think when you look at the year Sam had, and you imagine you're JJ McCarthy, right? You see that season he has and how much everyone loves him, and the team still lets him walk because they believe in you, because they drafted you first top 10 pick, right? Imagine just being that young quarterback. Chef, get down. Come on. Imagine being that quarterback who's injured all year, just watching this team have insane success, and they bolster the roster even more. And they're like, hey, this is your team. We're doing all this because we believe that you can lead us. We're excited about you and your talent. Just how much confidence would that give you? You know, imagine Caleb Williams having an offensive line that could actually block for him. Right? That's
Oh my God!
That's what
talk about the offensive.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say JJ McCarthy is Caleb Williams or even Jaden Daniels, but like if you are good enough to be like one of the top quarterbacks in that draft, and you go to a team that is just already completely stacked, I don't see how you don't go into this season with extreme confidence. And really, you know,
This team
This team can win just with the defense. JJ can have a couple bad games to start, and we can still win. So I just think like everything we've done in these years to like get this team to where it is right now is just so exciting and like good to see. And I don't think a lot of teams get to witness a franchise build this way. And again, we have the best facilities. We have the best facilities. Who doesn't want to come play in Minnesota? We have the best facilities. Are the best. Okay, it brings everybody here. Anyways, that's my rant with JJ.
Toilets are sick.
I love Tesla.
Big diameter.
I love Tesla.
Yeah. Anyway, but no,
and they say he does the point and then the drawback, point and draw, inside.
Aaron Rodgers, he's a good guy. I know him. I've talked to him. He should be a Viking.
Can't help myself, man.
Aaron Rodgers still possible?
you gotta do like that thing.
Aaron Rodgers.
Every time I know they'll do this.
Aaron Rodgers. Listen, I know Aaron Rodgers on a personal level. We've done ayahuasca together. He's a good guy. All right, he's a Steeler.
The very best.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
All right, I don't know. Dude, okay, all right. Besides the toilets at the facilities, how amazing they supposedly are.
Speaking of toilets.
Yes, I got a shit too. So
should we do a break?
No, we're good.
That we could do a bathroom break and then we can launch into
I had a thought.
Do your thought.
Do you still have it?
No, let's just finish this up. Okay, so O-line, insane. We didn't talk about that. Ryan Kelly and what was his name? Will Fries. Goodness, oh my, unbelievable.
Nurse
so now we have
Fries?
the best. We have the best tackle duo in the league, most likely, and we brought these guys in to bolster it up.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think the Lions have a little bit better of a tackle.
Yeah,
duo, but
my brain when you said tackle, I thought guard. I'm like Brandell's not good. But yeah, you're right.
Either
Tackle,
way.
Darius O'Neal. Yeah.
Yeah, and dude, my goodness, and we got Tim Jones, underrated player from the Jaguars. Obviously, he's going. And sorry the way I said Jaguars. I know that was weird. But,
Jaguars.
Jaguars, or however
Jaguars.
Bostonites say it. But apparently he works his fucking ass off, and he has stuck around, even though he's not like mainly on the offense or a wide receiver 3. He sticks on the special teams. He just works harder than anybody in the room, man. He's first one in, last one out. I'm excited to see that kid. He's probably my age, but work his ass off on special teams, and then we got Rondale Moore, who's gonna be a beast, and yeah. Okay, bye, Cole. All right, it's okay. You can remember when Cole used to have to take a piss break every single episode back in the day?
How could I forget?
By the way. But no, we're gonna keep going. Let's do this.
This is the long-awaited Clay and Zach episode.
Let's prepare because this is gonna have to happen pretty soon here. Because Cole's apparently in Eastern India every goddamn weekend. But because he's always far away. But
He's always far away.
So
Farting
Vikings, good. I'm very, very excited. Everybody thinks that JJ our entire season's just based around, is JJ going to be good? Of course he's going to be fucking good, dude. How could you not succeed in that offense? He has playoff and championship experience. He's seen the brightest lights. That's something that, Sam Darnold crumbled under last season. And so we have a guy who's ready for that.
Right. A guy who was coached by Jim Harbaugh as well. A Super Bowl contending coach.
His whole brand is around being mentally ready. Like, he's zen. He's always meditating. It's like, bro. And then he's sitting in these defensive meetings as well just to learn how they think. Are you fucking serious? I'm so excited.
I'm telling you, man.
He's going to be awesome.
Yeah, when you have just, pure talent like that, and then you also have the mentality. I mean, I think that's why Tom Brady was able to be so successful, because he was overlooked for his physical attributes. But his mentality from day one, I mean, you see the kind of quarterback he was. I think JJ has the ability to do that. And let's not forget the Michigan ties. I'm almost positive that they talk. You know, I'm sure he's gotten a lot of pointers from.
Oh.
Yeah, and who better to give you
I
advice
don't know why
than
I
Tom
never
Brady?
made that connection.
Yeah, Michigan boys. So I will say I do have one more question with the Vikings, and Cole can chime in whenever he comes back. But obviously, we've built this
he's
lineup
gone.
to a place where like there seems to be no weaknesses. We're heading into the draft. What are we expecting? We're basically in a position where we can draft best player available. Where are we probably going to try to build this roster? What are you thinking?
So a couple things. One, I'm excited to be in that position because I don't think I've ever seen us be able to just draft best player available. Maybe when we went with Lewis Seen, but like even then that was
That
just
worked
kind
out.
of a weird.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Worked out really well. But I think what we need to do is get that veteran quarterback, whether it be Tannehill or Flacco. Hopefully Flacco.
Give me
And then
Tannehill.
we come in. What I'm kind of bummed about I feel like it's going to happen is we'll trade back, get more picks, because this is kind of the perfect position to be in to do that, which we've done every single goddamn year besides the last 2 years. And it's just, the Spielman special. We could do that unless there's a guy that we really want. If there's like we just got Jordan Mason, dude. I was thinking,
we
if there's
do not need a running
but
back,
I totally
yeah.
forgot. Oh my God, we got Jordan Mason.
We got Van Ginkel.
Unbelievable. Dude, he's so good. Okay, I can't think of anything that we specifically need. Maybe a corner. It can't hurt to have another secondary guy. How about maybe a guard? Because Blake Brandel's good.
Yeah.
But we just one more guard and we're set. Dude.
That we
I
can
can't think
develop,
of
yeah.
Another piece that we need.
Yeah, our linebacking
was your
core is
shit?
insane. Everything is full. Everything's good. Maybe another safety that can learn under Hitman.
Yeah,
Maybe
another safety. Who's that safety right now? What's his name? The guy that Theo Jackson. But we have a 3 safety scheme, so it's and then
We got Josh fucking Metellus who can go anywhere.
What was his name? The guy that we signed who was Bubba Boner or
Gump?
something?
Bubba.
No, Bubba Bolton.
Sure.
I can't remember his name.
Real
Yeah.
Viking heads will
They gotta
know.
be
We
same.
don't need to know.
But yeah,
They don't pay us to know. They don't pay us anything.
I think a
Yeah.
safety or a guard is the way to go in the draft. Honestly, But then at the end of the day, if there's a guy on the board that's go for it. It doesn't
Yep.
matter. Any position will do.
Agreed.
'Cause
I want to
we're
ask this question
set.
to Cole now. I'm sure Cole, you can kind of pick it up. But I was saying, with the way we've bolstered this lineup, there's not really any weaknesses. So we're going into the draft where we can basically draft best player available.
Oh, sure.
So where do you even go? What is the idea? Is it truly there's a really good, wide receiver on the board, let's take him? Or do you try to fill in some spots that maybe lack a little depth? What's the move for the draft?
So I don't know much about this draft class, if I'm going to be completely honest. I watched when the NFL was releasing the combine videos, for the DNs and then for the running back. I watched all the 40-yard dashes because I love those. But I watched some of the other drills that they would do. But again, not completely. I think what you do, I think J.J. McCarthy's a total bust. So you go and you draft Cam Ward. You trade up for the number 1 pick. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, honestly. Okay, so here's the thing. You just mentioned this, Cheese. Wide receivers. You got Jay Jets, and there's talk that if you were to try to get another receiver, it might mess with Addison because Addison wants to be the number 2, right?
Disney
Not number
Channel.
3.
Yeah.
So if you can get a receiver and then convince them that they're going to be number 3, fighting for the number 2 spot with Addison, maybe you get a little.
We got
bit of-
Rondell Moore as our 3, though.
Well, so then there you go. I don't know if you get another receiver.
We got.
I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm
Uh,
saying. Even if there's a stud
Jaden
up there,
Speedy
it's what's
Naylor
the
too.
point?
He wasn't bad.
Honestly, my 2 cents, man. Just get more depth.
Yeah.
Get
Tight end?
Get a position that's not glamorous. Yeah, get a tight end.
We got
get
Josh
a,
Oliver coming back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get
So
a-
Hawkinson,
get a
him. We
defensive
lost
lineman.
Johnny Munt. We lost Johnny Munt. So might as well.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
But I'm happy
he's-
for the Jags, and I'm happy for him. I was talking to B, shout out B, last night about this because he's stoked about Munt. Evan Ingram's gone, so they need somebody. And by the way, good take, Cole. He did great.
Great take. No, Johnny Munt. Yeah. proven he can be
No,
a
dude,
tight
he-
end one if he needs to be.
He had moments where I'm like, this guy's gonna be great, but he's
Great at
never
breaking
gonna
tackles
become
and
the
blocking.
one, like in this offense with T.J. Hawkinson. So I'm stoked for Munt. I think he's gonna flourish in that offense, and very, very underrated tight end.
Come
So,
down Nick
shout
Mullins
out
too,
Johnny
throwing
Munt.
to him on the second team.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Shout out Nick Mullins. Just fucking throw it down wherever.
Yep.
Figure it out.
Yet another quarterback that probably got a good deal because of Kevin O'Connell.
Yep.
Just saying.
Beautiful.
Quick little side tangent. We don't even need to really dive into it, but I'm curious on your thoughts. I know Hawkinson was out for a majority of the year. Do you think that he didn't get the targets he ought to have gotten? I don't know. When I remember watching and thinking like, that he just wasn't getting targeted as often as I would like, especially on those, third and shorts or those second and shorts.
Yeah.
And do you think that that's something we might see different with JJ? Do you think he's going to hit targets more dispersed? 'Cause
Before-
Darnold kind of got tunnel vision on Jay Jets a lot, I felt like.
Before we answer this question, did you by chance have him on your fantasy team?
Who?
Hawkinson.
I did.
I had him on IR, but I had Kelsey. I rode Kelsey all the way until the last game when he actually did really
I
well.
was gonna say it's the sound. This sounds like the ramblings of a man who didn't get enough
I-
targets to
I-
Hawkinson on a fantasy team.
I didn't
That's
start
valid.
TJ.
No, that's valid.
I didn't start TJ for a single game last year, and I didn't need to.
Even
I had
when he was-
Kelsey
yeah,
that
I
was
guess
doing
you
really
had
well.
Kelsey.
I had McBride for the
Kelsey
the
was not
Cardinals.
doing
He was
really well, by the way. I
McRibs
had
is
him.
food.
Actually, yeah, he was amazing. So I didn't even need TJ. I'm just speaking from a viewership standpoint as a Vikings fan. There were a lot of times where I'm like, man, you got a 2nd and 4, send your receivers on a wide out, but run a little hook route or hook and ladder with TJ because that's what he does so well. I don't know.
I lost in the championship to Hallie's uncle, and I'm pissed. I'm still pissed about it.
Yeah, that's
That's
you're harboring
bad.
some resentment.
Yeah, so now
You
I have
heard
to
of
see him
Chris
at frickin'
Christopherson?
Christmases and
Well,
whatnot.
I'm pissed off.
All right, enough about fantasy.
Nice.
I also lost in the playoffs. A little stinky in hockey. In hockey fantasy.
Whoa, what a
football fantasy.
transition.
Oh wow! Wait, should we talk about hockey?
Yeah, maybe we should
Jesus
talk about
Christ.
hockey.
Whoa, what a transition,
Guys, with what now that we're on the topic, with the playoffs on the horizon, this wild team is still this Wildy team is still in the playoffs. What is the ceiling for this team moving into the playoffs? What are they capable of doing? Also, is someone update me with Kirill Kaprizov? Is he even coming back? Is that possible?
First off, Stanley Cup or absolutely nothing. And yes, he's coming back, and we're gonna win it. No,
Let's go.
I don't fucking know, man.
Lord.
It's weird. We look great all of a sudden, which is fantastic. We had a big slump there. I think it was 3-6-1 in our last 10, and then we went and just fucking dominated the Kings and played really well against the Kraken there. And we played tonight. I can't remember who we play, but who do we play? Do you remember?
Who we play tonight?
Yeah.
Is it the Avalanche? I don't know. Let me look.
I think it's the Avs. Anyway,
Scary.
we look good, man. The team finally looks like they figured out how to play without those key pieces in Eriksson and Kaprizov.
Sabres. We play the
We
Sabres.
play the
tonight.
same. Oh, dude, I'm excited for that. Actually,
Yeah, it'll be
my
good.
favorite non-wild player in the league is Tage Thompson, but
Yeah.
I digress.
Well documented.
Yes.
He loves
But
Tage.
I don't know, actually. Maybe you have a little bit more info on this, Cole, but I have heard that he might not be back for the playoffs, Kaprizov. I know that he'll be back by then, if I'm not mistaken. But, dude, I don't know if this stems back to that injury against the Jets where the dude literally...
Stanley.
Yeah, Stanley.
jumped on him, which is weird.
I'm so upset about that still, but...
Yeah, it's and that's injuries. Majority of the time are accidental, and I really don't think it was malicious what he was trying. I don't think he was like, I'm going to ruin this guy's career or create like.
That's
a
exactly what he was
nagging
thinking, and
injury,
he should be penalized for that.
but,
Punished.
funny enough, man, everyone is so quick to want to rip Ryan Hartman apart, and he does.
Yeah.
He does a lot. Let me clarify. A lot of stupid shit. And all the times he gets suspended or he makes these plays, I'm in agreement with
He
everyone. in the
fucking
league
loves
being
the
like,
taste of
that's-
human
that's
flesh.
Horrible. That's not good that he does that. I think it's him being stupid. I don't think he's intentionally going out there going, I want to hurt the best player. I don't think anyone in the league is doing that. I think people get heated. I think things happen, and I think injuries happen. But
Besides Stanley.
as far as the IR standpoint, okay, so Brodeen should be back before the end of the year, as should be Eck. They should ideally, start warming up.
I think it was
last
towards the end of the
handful of
month here.
or last handful of games. I just saw a news update that ideally Kaprizov is skating next Thursday. First skate.
No
First skate.
non-contact skate.
Non-contact
Okay.
skate, and one of my biggest gripes with the NHL as a whole. I understand in a sport where there's a lot of contact and oftentimes contact that's not watched by the refs, so there's some dirty plays. You don't want to let teams know exactly where injuries are, like, oh, it's their knee, or so they say upper and lower body.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy though, because then it's like, and they don't give you great timetables as far as returns. Here's what I know. If the Wild miss the playoffs, they're not going to have Kaprizov come back and play. They're just going to have him rest. Like, there's
Is there
no
a
sense
chance
to
we
do that.
Is there a chance we can miss the playoffs still?
There is. We're
Yeah.
we're about 7 points ahead of Calgary, and I'm blanking on the other team that's chasing the wild card right now. There is a chance. If we stay at 500, we should make it. But if we just start dropping every single game and Calgary wins and the
Yeah.
other team wins, then we might
Okay.
be out.
Because you got the Blues who just snuck in to the bottom spot in the wild card. But dude, I think we're like, I texted you the other night how many games ahead we are, and
Yeah.
it's quite a bit.
It's gonna take us losing 4 and then winning
Yeah.
4 on top of
Would
the
have
amount
to have
of
like a
games. So-
Twins debacle. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sadly, yeah.
That's possible.
Which is
um,
possible
Ugh.
in
It is
Minnesota.
possible. Okay, so Kaprizov will. So all of our IR guys, if we make the
Yeah.
playoffs, would be back. Whether they come back a little bit, handful of games before the end of the regular season, maybe it's at the playoffs. I don't know, but they should all be back. I can't imagine that the office is going to convince Kaprizov to sit when we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I'm so it's
He won't
As
want
far
to
as
either.
this, as far as the ceiling, I know this much. I know that our defense is elite. We have a terrific defense, and we're starting to play better defensively. The issue for a long time was scoring, was our offensive ability, and not only our ability to score, but our ability to maintain offensive zone pressure
Right.
and time. They're looking better there. So if you bring back Eck, who is arguably our best center, you bring back Kaprizov, who is our best player, period, in general.
He's so icy.
And then you bring back Brodeen, who is, I'm leaning.
he's
more
our best
towards
skater
him,
and our best defensive.
I'm leaning more towards him no longer being our best defenseman, but I think he's hold on. I think he's our best shutdown player. I think you match him up against a specific player, a specific line, he will shut that down. I think Faber is the best defenseman because he has great defensive IQ, but he has
Right.
a high offensive potential.
Right, his skating is just ridiculous
Yeah.
too. But
So, ceiling,
he's learning from
I think you get
Brodeen.
I think we make the playoffs and you get all of our players back. I see no reason we can't for sure take a couple of rounds, if not make it to the cup. I know we're under cap penalty, but this team proved early on in the year when we were fully healthy that they
Right.
can compete. And I actually am totally content with the wild card because I would love to see Colorado and the Stars beat the ever living crap out of each other
Yeah.
in the first round, and then maybe we play Edmonton, maybe
Oh,
we
it'd
play
be
the
so
Jets,
clutch.
but we steal that series, and now we're
Well-
playing a banged up. I think we lose against the Avs or the Stars
Yeah.
first round.
Well, there's
Probably
like
Jets,
four
but-
things I want to cover here, and I fucking forgot all of them. Besides the fact that we just won 2 in a row at home, which is crazy work for us because for some reason we can only win on the road this year. but,
Timberwolves are kind of like that too.
yeah, but
Yes, they
that's
are.
why I mean wild card would be a good spot for us too. Because if we're just on the road the whole time, shit, that's where we won the whole year. Why not? With Eriksson Ek, he is. I think when Spurgeon retires, I think that's the guy that gets the C because you don't miss anybody like you miss him when he's gone. Does that make sense?
There's Russo just came out on his podcast.
He just
and
came out. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Hold on,
Jonathan
I'm
Russo.
real. Sorry,
It
Russo. I
takes a lot of
realized that
bravery.
I worded that oddly. He had a few things that he thought were going to happen. One of them, he thinks Spurgeon might be traded at the end of this year.
Really?
Well,
At
we
the end
have
of the
a
year,
really
like,
at the end of the year.
is there no trade deadline in
we have-
hockey?
No, in the off season.
Oh, and
But
yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure
he's
that-
got
okay.
contract.
Gotcha,
Is there no
gotcha.
trade deadline in
That'd be devastating.
He's got contract. Look, I love him. I think the idea is you have all of these incredibly talented defensemen that are in the lineup. You have Zeev Buium that should be coming up at the end of this year. Spurgeon is fantastic. There's thoughts that you trade him for cap space, and you trade him. You stay young. Spurgeon's getting older, and he's always been injury prone.
I mean, especially at the end of the year, man. Or at the end of his
he's
career.
tiny.
He's
They
tiny.
also think Rossi might get traded. Not because he
Not a
hasn't proven
bust.
himself as an athlete, but he's just tiny. And if there's anything we've learned with playoffs, it's that size does matter.
Especially at that age.
Well,
But
and they're always like, grit. Our team's going to be gritty. Well, grit doesn't take you very far if you have no talent. So you need
Wait, the
talent, but you
Lions?
also
Jesus.
you also need size, and our team is quite tiny. So
I don't know. If he goes, that would suck. I mean, but we got like you said, William coming in, and it would make sense. But I think I don't know. I just thank you, Spurgeon. If that happens, I just want to send a little note. Thank you, Spurgeon,
Spurgeon General.
for everything you've done. Thank you for the commercials about my AC unit. Thank you for the quick trip stuff. Or was that right?
Yeah.
Suter was a quick trip.
Sorry. my bad.
Anyways, Cheese, do you have any thoughts on all of this, or
I do have-
no thoughts. I just saw that puck just dropped for the Wild and the Sabres, so maybe we should wrap this up so we can watch.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah,
Cole just
I don't
looked
know.
for
I mean, like from what I'm hearing from you guys, I think I got to get away from my microphone too. I'm talking too loud.
Well-
It seems like things could come together and we could make a run. I'd love to see at least one series win in the playoffs. I'd love to see us make the
Yeah.
playoffs.
my God.
I'm feeling optimistic about it. Feeling optimistic.
Yeah.
the entire fan base would like to see one playoff series win.
Yeah, or at least
think.
at least
But,
take them to a
no.
game
No.
7. Yeah, give us
that
something
was-
to believe in.
When was the last series win? Was that against? It was against the Avs. No, was it the Blackhawks? I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
I'm not sure.
But 2014, I think. But regardless, no, Kaprizov. If we end up getting Kaprizov, Eck, and Brodin back like around the playoffs, it's gonna feel like we had somebody on IR, and then we just added a bunch of players at the end, like the Vegas Golden Knights always scheme, the system doing every
LTR.
single year. So
Well, yeah.
that's what it'll kind of feel like. At the end of the day, man, I think this team can win. Are we gonna freaking win the cup? No, but we can win. We came out the gate really hot. We looked really, really, really good.
We were the best team in the league.
Best team
for
in the
a
league
couple
for
weeks.
a while, and then injuries. I think at some point we had 9 guys out. 9.
Yeah, we keep getting hit with the injury bug, and it sounds like Rossi got injured a game or so
He got
ago,
hit
so-
by Boldy's shot. Which,
Yeah,
by the way,
so-
finally, Boldy and Rossi, for some reason, once Kaprizov's out, they forget how to score. But I think they finally came back
Yeah.
2 games ago.
And that's the importance of having to star
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
It elevates the play around
Right.
them. It takes attention away from the other players so they can do their thing. So it'll be important to have our
And-
pieces back. Only way we win is if all 3 of them are
Yeah.
back.
And I don't know if you saw this, but Boldy finally tied
Yeah.
Kaprizov in goals. And Kaprizov's been out
32
more than half the season.
Was it 32 more games played and he finally tied his
Yeah.
goal total?
Which, by the way, can we please mourn that incredible season that Kaprizov was about to have?
Yeah.
He was on pace for
Oh, he's
over
playing
100,
MVP level. Yeah.
100 points,
he
50
was
goals.
the Hart Trophy favorite.
Oh my God,
yeah,
dude.
look, I'll mourn it. I am more concerned with his durability, man. I don't want a Royce Lewis situation on our hands with him, man.
Don't you
That's
fucking
gonna-
talk about
that'll-
Pookie like
Yeah,
that.
don't you dare talk about people like that.
Bro ran to
You better
first
watch your
base
goddamn
and
mouth.
chopped his leg off.
Okay,
I mean,
you
I don't know what
did
to
the
think
same
about this
thing when
guy.
you played softball the first game. Okay.
Yeah,
you
I
tore
don't
your
get paid millions
taint.
of dollars, Cheese.
tore
I
your
don't
taint.
get paid millions of dollars.
They're in
and
the
I don't have
off season.
all-
They're
I don't
not
have all-star-
conditioned.
I don't have all-star sports medicine people around me, and
That
all
doesn't
these,
change anything. He has a history of hamstring issues. Okay, but I hear what you're saying.
Right.
I hear what you're
That-
saying.
but that's
we
my
will
point.
wait
Hey,
till the next
no
episode to
shade on
talk
him.
Twibs. Okay, not today.
Twibs.
Yeah.
We'll talk Twibs.
We'll
but-
talk
All right, I
Twibs
think
next
that's it,
time.
though.
Yeah, that's all I got.
But yeah, Wild, gonna be fine. It may be a series win. We'll see. Vikings, there's nothing but greatness happening. And then Timberwolves, let's fucking send her.
Boom. All right, I'll take us out. Thank you again for watching Chatterpot. What the fuck? Thank you for watching Chatterpot, your number one source for ethical Minnesota sports takes. For Colesworth, Clayton, I am Zach /Cheese. We'll see you next time. Bye.